Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Our next guests are no strangers to the show. You know Chike Evans, our very own Chike Evans. And welcome back David Raine. They have a new podcast called No Lies Detected that premieres October 5th. Please help me welcome our guests, Chike and David. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So, David, I know you've been here 5 years ago. 5 years ago.
It was about 5 years ago, right?
Right.
5, maybe even 6.
Been that long?
Yes, because my mother was still alive at the time. She was sitting next to me while I did the interview.
Oh, wow.
And she passed in 2016.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So it had to be 2015 or earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for those that are just tuning in, tell us a little bit about yourself. You do a lot of stuff, so tell us about it.
Yeah, so pretty much, art-wise, Renaissance. I mean, I write, I sing, I act, and I do film soundtracks for indie films. A lot of stuff is overseas.
Okay.
Yeah, got some releases, some films coming up. There's a film called King of Knives that is a worldwide release December 1st. Mm-hmm. It was going to be in theaters, but due to the pandemic, it's going to be all online, which is great because the whole world gets to see it.
Exactly.
Around the world instantly. Yeah. So that's cool. And just finished doing a Shakespeare in Delaware, Shakespeare in the Sculpture Garden at the Delaware Art Museum, where I was actually doing Shakespeare and playing original music, my songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you were saying this was your first performance back in a minute, obviously due to COVID. How was that experience?
Well, first music experience.
Okay.
For a while. I mean, acting wise, I did do Shakespeare in the Park last summer.
Okay.
But it was crazy. It was raw, man. It was like that raw feel because it's original music. If I was playing something that somebody asked me to learn and it's part of the show, that's different.
Yeah.
It's my heart. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there across from 50 strangers that are 20 feet away.
Right.
And I just start going, just do my thing. But it was beautiful because you could tell that they were thirsty for art. They were thirsty to see something, to hear a voice, to see someone speak, to see someone perform. Yeah. And I was raw. So we kind of came together, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, hey.
That energy,
So we're going to have this little artistic experience together. So it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, Chike, so you all are launching on October 5th, No Lies Detected Podcast. Tell us all about it.
All right. So before I get into that, Stephen, I just want to shout you out and thank you for this awesome platform. I know that I do work for this show, but I was a fan first. If you remember, before I joined,
that's awesome.
I was a fan first, and I just want to thank you and the rest of my teammates for providing this platform for independent artists and entrepreneurs to be able to tell the world who they are. And
Most
I
definitely
sincerely appreciate you for that.
Oh, most definitely. And thank you. I got to thank you for everything you do for the show. You do more than movie reviews and hot topics. You do a lot behind the scenes. So, definitely appreciate you. But go ahead. So tell us about the podcast. And first of all, why did you decide it was time for this podcast?
So, as you know, my other outlet, one of my other outlets is Conversations with Chike Evans. Right. And I did an interview with David, and in the middle of the interview, we were touching on some subject matter that sparked, I guess, passion. Well, we already had the passion, but it actually sparked it between David and myself. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about the need for us to tell our brethren and sisterin that there was a mega importance and need for voting this year, for this election at this time in our country's history. Yes. And I expressed to David that I would like to do something regarding the education of voter awareness to everyone. Right. And we should probably, well, not that we, but something should be created to be a facilitator for that. And David said, yeah, I would like to get in on that with you. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool, let's do it. Next thing I know, David runs off and comes back to me and he's like, listen, I got the perfect situation. This is it. Okay. And we basically started rolling from there. And David, what was it, like a week and a half?
Yeah, it was quick. It was quick.
Yeah,
it was a quick turnaround.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually started formulating and putting stuff together and found a production company that's willing to work with us. And here we are now talking to you. after those series of meetings and, this pre-launch.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we know why this election is so important, but in your opinion, why is it so important to get the word out that people need to register to vote? As a matter of fact, I got my mail-in ballot yesterday. I couldn't wait to fill it out.
Where are you located?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Because PA, they're in the mail, but they haven't arrived. I haven't seen anybody say that it's right. And I know Chicago, some folks have gotten it and have already voted.
Yeah, I just got mine yesterday because I was wondering. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. I was like, I haven't received mine yet, but it came in yesterday. So
okay,
I'm gonna drop mine off.
That's the thing. So just like you just said, it's wild, right? It's the same country, but some of us don't even have our ballots yet.
Right.
So obviously there's something fishy going on, and some people, certain states, are in the back pocket of the president, and they're making decisions that are slowing things down. Or confusing things. So really the most important thing that Chike and I were talking about keeping is that a clarity of just knowledge, keeping up on the knowledge of how to vote, what you need to do to make sure you're counted, and then why.
Right.
And to be honest, there are people that, we're going to be interviewing a bunch of different people. So there's one woman we're trying to work on. Her name is Lee Chapman. I'm going to say her name now just to make sure it's in the universe, and she says yes to the interview.
Okay.
She works in DC with lobbyists. She's a serious person, right? So she's an actual voter. They gotta think about it this way. They have to have a department that's called Voter Protection Agency.
Right. Yeah.
And she's one of the leaders of this department.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to have a voter protection in America.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you that there's work to be done. You know what I mean? And some of us, as small or as big as this becomes.
Right.
Like we said it the other day, Chike, right? If we get 5 people to have their voice heard, or 5,000 or 50,000, it doesn't matter what we're doing. Just like any kind of online streaming service, they're like, okay, we need content. Right now, it's vote. So anybody saying this, we got their back and they got our back. Right. It's like we all have to be doing this. We all have to be present, you know?
And what do you say to the people that say, I don't need to vote, my vote won't count, they're going to cheat anyway? What do you say to that person? Because there are a lot of people out there that they don't see the importance of voting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's, you want
so
to
my question to that person would be, do you pay taxes? So if you're paying taxes and you live in this country, you're giving up money going where? You have no say, and your money's just being pulled out of your pay. And where's your voice? Where's your voice to where your money is allocated to go in this country? You don't have a say. Yeah. If you don't vote, you don't have a say. And therefore, you cannot complain. You cannot say anything as it relates to what the activity is in this country if you don't vote, because that is your voice for the overall tone of this country. We are here at this moment having this conversation because we voted, or our ancestors have voted.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing. So it's like not voting takes away your voice.
Right.
So you might as well just go somewhere and shut up.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. I don't want to hear anything you got to say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And what advice, because, we know voter suppression is real. What was the documentary, Chike? The Stacey Abrams documentary?
I saw that.
All in.
Yes. And so we see it's real, especially, they focused on the election here with Brian Kemp and Stacey Abrams. Yeah. And, some things happen. So what advice do you give people in getting their friends and family to go out, not just them register to vote, but helping them register, helping them get to the poll? Or
that's part of the plan. So, and that key word, plan. Mm-hmm. So due to the voter suppression, there are a lot of intricacies, and they're all different in every state. Mm-hmm. Some people don't even know that they're being suppressed.
Yeah.
Right.
Like gerrymandering is a form of suppression.
Yep.
The voter ID law, there's a form of suppression.
Yeah.
The broken ballot, the broken voting machine, that's a form of suppression.
Mm-hmm. Straight up
all
closing
of that stuff yes, they're closing them. They're moving them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even especially now with COVID, because people have to wear their masks as a socially distance for people that actually do go out to the polls. And, you know, it was interesting when I was filling out my ballot last night, you know, it has specific rules you have to do. And, you know, if I were to, instead of bubble in the circle and I just exited or circled it, that could have thrown my vote out. So you have to pay attention.
The color in which you fill it out of the
blue or
ink
black.
is part of it. Yep.
Yeah. And also there's a secrecy envelope, and then there's the second envelope.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of people throw out the extra envelope.
Yeah.
They think, oh, I just need one envelope. Why two? Yeah. But it won't be counted if it's not in a secrecy envelope and then inside the actual ballot envelope.
Most definitely.
So and I'll tell you this: in certain states, like say you filled out your mail-in and you mailed it away, and if you're not, you know, tied into your progress online, which you can do, a lot of people don't know that, you can track your vote online. Yeah. Say you didn't track your vote online and you were questionable about if your vote counted or not, and you showed up to the polls that day. In certain states, that can be looked at as a crime, and you're attempting to vote twice, which you can go to jail for.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, which our president has encouraged you to vote twice.
How about
that? Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So I know by the time this airs, we already have this debate under our hands. What are you expecting in the debate tonight between Joe Biden and Donald Trump?
Yeah. Well, I first of all, we know you got a schoolyard bully with a normal Joe. His name is even Joe.
Yeah.
You know, normal Joe, and a schoolyard bully. So what I hope for, I'd rather say what I hope for. I hope that Joe keeps his cool, doesn't feed in to the BS, and he stays with policy talk, because Trump has zero policy.
Right.
Trump's policy is rich, rich, rich. That's it. He doesn't even know how to talk about a policy. Mm-mm. So if Joe stays on policy, even when Trump says something asinine, then he'll separate himself, and it will all see the country will see the difference. You know, I believe that. You know. Yeah.
Well, you know, he's doing playing by the same playbook he did against Hillary Clinton back in 2016, where he's now taking digs at Joe Biden's health, saying he has ear implants, and he's has early onset dementia and all these things.
He's not fit.
Now, mind you, he did that same thing to Hillary Clinton.
When she got exhausted, I think she had like dehydration, or she was exhausted on a Me, yeah.
You know, the scary thing about all of this is that, you know, not every show on Fox News, but a lot of the Fox News commentators, they repeat the same things that he says.
Of course.
And so that base, I can't even watch Fox News. I tried watching it maybe a couple weeks ago. I had the time, 10 minutes I had to go. But their base, that's what they're going to hear. And so I was watching CNN earlier today, and they were talking about, you know, the moderator's not going to be able to fact check the debate because, you know, he's managing it all. And so other networks will fact check it, but Fox News won't. And so that base will hear just whatever Trump lies about. And we all know he lies. I mean, it's not even a question.
No, if Fox News fact checked, they wouldn't have an audience.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because they depend on people that don't get information on their own, that don't research and find out things. They want to be fed something, and they want to be fed what sounds the easiest to them.
Yeah.
You know, one of the important things that we were talking about is about the pandemic. And Chike and I were talking about this before. It's not fun to hear that you have to wear masks and you have to not gather, and you know, but that's the real thing that needs to be told to the country. Mm-hmm. Not, oh, we're fine. You know, go ahead, and we're up to over 205,000 people have passed away in this country.
Right.
And I would bet at least 150,000 of them didn't have to.
Yeah. Yep.
And let's talk about that messaging for a minute. Even the messaging of, and we talked about it last night on our broadcast of the Stephen Knight Show, the whole concept of herd immunity, which is coming from Mount on high. So you have people not wearing masks, not doing the social distancing, because the messaging from Mount on High is we're looking for herd immunity. So when one of those people hear that, they're like, oh, I need to be out here without a mask. I need to ignore all the things I was ignoring before, because this is where we need to go for the betterment of the country, so we can hurry up and get past this COVID, because we're trying to get to herd immunity. And that energy is being put into the voter suppression. They're telling people, oh, they're messing up on the ballots. The ballots are not fair. You're finding ballots in the trash. Or ballots in the river. All of that is fake. It's not real.
Or even Joe's going to shut down the country. Joe's going to shut down. You're not going to make money anymore. You're going to lose your job. You know, all of that stuff. Like
what kills me is the fact that, you know, Trump and his surrogates, they're pushing the message that under a Biden administration, the country's going to be burning. We're going to have this pandemic. This is happening under your administration. This is not Biden's administration. This is your administration.
That's now. Biden is not in charge.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand that. I don't understand that rhetoric. But, you know, I don't know. God bless us all. I was going to say something.
But it's scary. It's scary. If I might, it's scary, which is another reason why what Chike and I are doing is valuable.
Yeah.
There are so many people that aren't even having this conversation.
Right. Yeah.
Like, this is how we all should be talking. We should be figuring out what doesn't sound right, what sounds right.
Yeah.
What does science say? What's the better thing for all of us? How should we? Everyone should be talking like this.
Right.
So I think that the existence of this podcast is going to allow people to realize, oh, I was thinking that. I just didn't say it out loud. Oh, I didn't tell my neighbor that I thought this, and this. And I think that's right, Chike, don't you think? That's the idea, is that, you know, it will get people talking, and talking means learning.
Right.
You know, let's be clear and real, like totally. Your average person is worried about putting food on the table. They're worrying about not catching disease. They're worrying about, you know, retaining a job, or if they don't have one and they're not working, is when is this next income coming in to fortify my home? They're not talking about the intricacies of voting, if they're even caring about voting at all, because they're so worried about the day-to-day life.
Right.
Yep.
They need to hear these sound bites to instill them, inspire them, educate them on planning their vote.
Right.
Most definitely. So in closing, let us know again, why is this podcast so important? What does the listener need to take away from it? And I'll let both of you answer it. Start with you, David.
What they need to take away from the podcast. So No Lies Detected, just in the name alone, is that we are going to come with clarity, scientific information, clear facts about how to approach life, not only pre, but after. No matter who wins, we all have to stay in touch. We have to stay clear-minded, and we have to stay informed, you know? So I think coming from this is just, it'll be a nice casual sort of family living room way of getting informed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chike?
So the importance of knowledge and full understanding of where we are right now in this country and what our democracy means to each and every individual person in this country. I don't think your average person really understands the laws or what democracy even means for that point.
Right.
You know, the fact that you can have these type of liberties and step outside your home and do the things that you used to love before coronavirus, that is what your vote means.
Yeah.
This show will hopefully broaden horizons, will help educate you on those things, and hopefully bring you to a greater appreciation of your here and now in this country. Even though for most of us, especially if you're darker in hue in your skin, it's been most difficult and it hasn't seemed like a democracy. But moving forward, how this country is changing, if they have their way, those powers that be, we won't even have what we had.
Yeah.
That's important.
Very, very true. Very true.
Moving backwards.
Yeah. So where can we tune in?
Well, I think the initial air on October 5th is going to be a YouTube channel.
Okay.
But we're in talks right now with a production company where we're going to be under their umbrella. But we want to do the voting shows independently, because even that is that important, is that precious to us that we have to get it out.
Right.
But Ducor Media is a company that's going to be our umbrella.
Okay.
But we're still kind of rogue independents right now for the first couple of shows.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm very excited about this. David Raine, Chike Evans. The podcast is called No Lies Detected. October 5th. Congratulations on it, and I can't wait to tune in.
Thank you so much.
You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. No Lies Detected.
No Lies Detected.
Technically, the title is #NoLiesDetected.
Okay.
So follow us.
And we'll have the information in the bio of this video. But again, our thanks goes out to both of you. I'm very excited about this, and thank you for doing it, because this is a very important conversation.
Yep.
And again, for more information, go to our website, thestephenightshow.com, and we'll be right back after this.